Someday, but not today, sadly. But we are going to talk about the final part of this Totally Spies trilogy, the episode Freaky Circus Match. What you need to know about this episode is it's season 3. A lot of changes to the format happened to season 3 and onward of Totally Spies. For one, to get this out of the way, the girls actually live together in a villa now, as if they were not already rich enough. Which confirms in the fan fiction of the lesbian relationship. Secondly, they changed the voice actors of Alex and Jerry, I believe, which makes Alex sound a little bit more whiny overall. And they changed the style of the overall theme song because it was copyrighted and stuff. Maybe you should listen to it. Now, the reason I'm talking about this episode in particular is basically for the transformation fetish of the show. Basically because almost every episode, one of the girls or something transformational happens to them. Whether it be a mime or hypnotism or whatever. But something always happens to them. But I wanted to find a special one. I bet you're asking, hey Duck, how could you find a special one of those types of episodes? They're rampant throughout the entire series. Well, why not have one where each one of them gets mutated and Clover is extremely unlikable? So we begin the girls' stories with them at their villa, with Alex asleep, sleep and sound, when all of a sudden, a reality TV show host and his crew barge in, interrupting her slumber. And it turns out, the girls have been put on a reality show.
I have several questions.
Just pretend the cameras aren't here, honey.
You know, for kids!
What the fuck? I mean, really? Filming someone in the shower on a kid's show? Well, is it aimed for kids? I don't even know anymore. So anyway, Clover's waiting for these reality TV guys, but finds her friends very pissed at her.
Clover! What is going on? Surprise! I signed us up to be on the hit reality show Beverly Hills Glamour Girls! You mean you signed us up to be on some stupid reality show without asking? Hello, Beverly Hills Glamour Girls isn't stupid, Sam. It's the highest rated teen show on television. We're going to be stars.
I want you guys watching this to answer this question for me. Why the fuck are Sam and Alex friends with Clover? I mean, Clover does absolutely nothing in these missions. And having this reality show pretty much compromises any secrecy that could possibly happen in a spy show. And this is rampant throughout the entire episode. And she does not care about anything else. So the girls continue to remain pissed at Clover for the fact that their lives have now become increasingly complicated with the reality show. And Sam is still in a towel. And so, for once, and I mean once, they're actually glad to get whooped by Jerry to another mission. But we get a little something before we go to the mission. I'm going to talk about Jerry and his new assistant Gladys after this scene.
TV cameras.
Cameras?
Oh, you're just upset because they busted you in your flannel footies. I should be so lucky. I mean, hello, wearing a towel here.
Oh my. So you are.
You know, for kids!
Okay, so Jerry had the hots for Sam. So, after that disturbing thing, the girls get ready for a mission, and Clover continues to gush about fame. You're going to hear this throughout the entire episode. Also, we get a little info from Gladys. Gladys is their new weapons expert in Season 3 and onward. She's basically a robot, and she's named after the robot from Portal, even though Portal came out after this show, which is kind of interesting, but not enough interesting to save this from mediocrity. So, they're off to Toronto, Canada. Now, this show does have a couple of good jokes, but not that many. Maybe like this one.
Toronto? You know what that means?
A way for you to stop sounding like a whiny 7-year-old?
No. Real maple syrup!
Point taken. Alex likes maple syrup. So Gladys gives them their gadgets, and Jerry sends them off to Toronto, Canada, home to many bad cartoons, as well as their own. But, so they're off to find out what this Circus Diablo is about. And, it's, there's a lot of problems with this plot, which I will get to later. But we're going to run into our first little transformation about now.
Hey, check this out. Ah! Ah! What's going on? Get it off! Get it off! Help! Ah! Your hand! It's turned into a grossy claw. Ew! See, this is why I hate carnivals.
Talk about getting crabbed. Okay, that was a bad joke. So Alex sends the mirror back to Jerry for analysis, and then they realize they have to get back to school. But then they realize they have some other problems.
I can't go back to school with my hand like this, especially not with Clover's TV crews poking around.
I actually agree with Sam on this one. How the hell are they gonna hide Sam's giant lobster claw? So they arrive back at school, and Sam has her claw down her skirt, while Clover digs out a mitten to try and hide her giant lobster claw. However, Sam's so tacky, and she would never wear it. Unfortunately, the studio decides that, hey, maybe we should force her to. But so the reality TV people come back, and Clover is just as superficial as she was at the start of the episode, posing and getting in on everything. And then Mandy arrives.
I guess when they couldn't have moi, Beverly Hills Glamour Girls changed its focus from pretty and popular to freaks and geeks.
Oh yes, Mandy, the character that I haven't talked about yet. She's basically the rival of the Totally Spies, and in every episode she's usually rivaling them in one way or another. But she's mostly seen rivaling Clover. But here's the kicker. She's voiced by the same actress who voices Sam. Wow. Talk about a low budget. So after showing off to Mandy, the spies get a text from Jerry and telling them that the circus went to Brazil. So, and they still don't have any word about how Sam turned into a lobster claw freak. So they have to become part of the circus in order to follow the circus.
3 carnival freaks coming up.
Good thinking, Alex.
Okay, even the highest heel in my shoe collection couldn't have prepared me for this.
And I thought the llamas with hats, face balloons were scary. So the girls go undercover as part of the circus and find that, and apparently this circus is well known. But then they spot some people getting kidnapped in a roller coaster ride, and then they go to stop them.
I'll be right with you!
I guess Sam couldn't snap into action. Jokes! So their friends go on the roller coaster, and it turns out to be some sort of horrific thrill ride that I can't explain right now.
Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Would you like a picture from the ride? No? Then you actually have a brain. So then the girls get put in the Hall of Mirrors. Literally. Quite literally. And we finally get to meet our so-called villain of this episode. He's actually a pretty lame one, in my opinion.
I was known as the Octopus Boy.
Hey, you're that kid from the poster.
You never know he had extra arms in there. Who's your tailor?
A proud family tradition eroded by today's ridiculous excuse for a carnival. But I'm going to change all that.
To spare some time, I'm going to tell you Octopus Boy's plans. Octopus Boy's plans is that he's going to turn people into freaks to be in his circus every time he goes to a place. That's going to wear out sooner or later. You're going to run out of people to turn into freaks, and then you'll have no one to entertain. Like, why? That's how a circus goes, but time for the big transformations.
Oh no, we're next! Ew! Body lotion 911 people, I'm blue and scaly.
Undyne? Is that you? Nah, it's just an imposter.
At least you're not the elephant girl. It's gonna take a whole team of Beverly Hills finest to remove this nasty trunk.
Spy of the Year, people. Spy of the Year. Blah! So Sam cuts herself loose with her lobster claw. An octopus man sends a werewolf and a snake woman after her, which Sam easily fights off for some reason because she's the smart one and we're supposed to root for her. And, but most of the time it's just like, why am I even watching this? Like, it's got some sort of rewatch value, but we'll get to that later.
The results from the lab just came in. The mirror is a mercurial compound capable of altering a person's DNA.
So that's how the ringmaster's turning people into freaks.
In a typical spy mission, this doesn't usually make any sense. Honestly, this seems a lot more like it's more freak show than spy. So Sam loses track of the carnival after it splits town. But then she remembers that of all the horrible tattoos that Jerry gave them that are tracking devices. And the tracking device leads Sam to Paris. And do I need to be reminded of France anymore? Okay, so Sam decides to get inside with the by using the cannon. Can you be any more loud?
Everyone want to be in show business?
For your information, I already am in showbiz. I'm a Beverly Hills glamour girl.
Again. Why? So Sam frees Clover and Alex, and then we learn that Octopus Boy is thinking much bigger with his mutation plans, which begs the question, This plan is completely stupid. Like, turning your audience members into your show will give you less audience members overall, and eventually you're gonna run out. Why? 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 It's just beyond stupid. You think you couldn't get any dumber? Well, watch.
We have to stop this from happening.
The trip to Paris definitely spells glamour, but...
Will you excuse us for a sec?
What the fuck?
Okay, spill. How did Hans know where to find us?
Would you believe it was a coincidence?
No.
All right. I called him. It was a moment of weakness. I missed being a star, okay?
How can you be a star when you're elephant-esque?
I thought I'd be back to normal by now.
Okay, time to rant. What the holy hell? Why? Is Clover that dumb? Does she realize they're in danger? Does she realize she's in danger? Does she realize she's an elephant? Does she realize that maybe that this isn't the right time for your reality show or your glamour girls? You're more pachyderm than girl. There are so many things wrong with this part of the episode. Like Clover obviously has zero respect for her friends. And obviously, her friends are extremely pissed at the fact that they have to deal with both a reality show cast and stopping an octopus man. Come on, A-Duck, you're in the home stretch. Okay, so finally the girls get their shit together and try to cut the power to stop the ride. But unfortunately, they have backup power. So they split loads. So Clover goes to distract the reality TV people, and Alex goes to stop the ride, and Sam goes head-to-head with Mr. Machamp. So Alex stops the ride with the boombox gadget, and we get a long fight scene with Sam fighting off against Mr. Machamp, because I don't want to call him an octopus man, because he looks like a Machamp. So, this fight scene... So after stopping the mirrors with the boombox, all the people are safe, and Sam finally takes care of Mr. Machamp, or Octopus Boy, or whatever. It's just... the fighting here could last a little bit too long. Otherwise, it's decent, but that's all I can say. So then they're reminded about how Clover is doing, and so Clover traps them all in the cage and talks about her life story. Literally no joke. And it's boring, and tedious, and awful, and self-absorbed, just like this.
Loan of $1 million, small 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 loan of $1 million.
So the girls are returned back to their normal selves and they return to their villa, and then Clover finally gets to watch her stupid show.
Okay, ready or not, girls, it's glamour time!
This week we follow Mandy, a glamorous...
Mandy!
Yep, despite everything that Clover did to be superficial, Mandy managed to get the part in the show. However, her friends make things better. But what doesn't make it better is that Clover was a giant asshole throughout this entire episode. Despite her being turned into an elephant, she still manages to have her friends. Oh, and to add insult to injury, they have Clover give us a life lesson during the credits.
I think after being the elephant girl for a while, I have this whole new appreciation for inner beauty. Like, teens can be so shallow and all, I'm not going out with my hair looking like this, or ew, like, who wears Jordan jeans anymore? But really, it's the inside that counts. Because, like, hello, looks fade, and then what do we have? we have what's inside. Duncan's here and he's like only the most awesome, gorgeous guy at school. On the inside. Duncan!
And that was all 3 of the Promised Totally Spies episodes reviewed. Alright, now let's reach the final verdicts. Totally Spies it's not a bad show. Actually, its fan base is actually a reasonably 50-50 split between really bad and really good. Amazing, isn't it? Now about the movie. If I were to review this movie would probably be a tough review, as these 3 episodes were one of the toughest things I've had to review. But honestly, I actually kind of like the show as of now, because it's actually kind of changed me a bit. But there's honestly not a worse show that's made by the people who made this, right? Right?
Don't stray out of my sight, Nellie. I don't want you getting lost in here.
From the bog.
Oh no,